federal Parental Kidnapping Prevention Act was enacted in 1980 to prevent jurisdictional conflict and competition over child custody, and in particular to deter parents from abducting children for the purpose of obtaining custody awards. Every state has its own way of enforcing the law, with custody or visitation determination by the court and state. Parental kidnapping has been characterized as a form of child abuse.
A guardian is a person, including a parent or a grandparent, who claims a right to custody or visitation of a child. Child means a person under the age of 18. The home state of a child is determined by a residency of 6 or more months. A state is considered any part of the United States, the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, or a territory or possession of the United States. Physical custody is the actual possession and control of a child. Abduction refers to the wrongful removal or wrongful retention of a child. Wrongful removal is the taking of a child that breaches rights custody or visitation given or recognized under the law of the state. Wrongful retention refers to the keeping or concealing of a child that breaches rights of custody or visitation given or recognized under the law of the state. Child custody determination is a judgment, decree, or other order of a court providing for the legal custody, physical custody, or visitation with respect to a child. Child custody proceeding is a proceeding in which legal custody, physical custody, or visitation with respect to a child is at issue. Travel document is records relating to a travel in territory, including travel tickets, passes, reservations for transportation or accommodations, and does not include passport or visa.
A court of a state may not modify a visitation determination made by a court of another state unless the court of the other state no longer has jurisdiction to modify such determination or has declined to exercise jurisdiction to modify such determination. In California, according to Penal Code 278, if an individual maliciously removes a child from his or her legal guardian and does not have custody over the child, this is considered a child abduction or child stealing.
When a custodial parent legally moves the child to the new state and establishes the new state as the child's home state, the original state may still retain jurisdiction. A child is considered absent from the state when he or she is removed or retained by a parent or guardian who lives in such state. The state's substantial evidence concerning the child's present or future care, protection, training, and personal relationships strengthens custody rulings in the state. The state has the right to decline jurisdiction for the best interest of the child. Aaron Young Jr. took his children from Arkansas to California because he did not want his children not to know their father. Young wasn't given custody of his children 6 months after the death of their mother, which gave him the idea to take his children so he can be with them. He was found 5 days after abduction, but during the 5 days he was Skyping with different family members trying to explain his actions.
The abduction of a child by a parent may be very traumatic for the child, leading to long-term adverse effects as the child grows. Abduction of a child leads to growing fear, confusion, and general mistrust of the parents. A child searches for the sense of security and well-being from extended family, friends, pets, community, and familiar surroundings as a result of a parent left behind. A returned child may suffer loyalty conflicts, emotional detachment, and feelings of betrayal by providing information about abducting parents who broke the law. Inability to trust adults in general can hinder the child's ability to form lasting relationships, even long into adulthood. Children who are abducted very young and returned as an older child may suffer from serious negative emotional effects because the child feels as if he or she is returned to a stranger. The return to the parents who originally had custody seems to be overwhelming to the child because they don't remember how his or her life was before the abduction. Parental abduction is international. The Hague Convention on the Civil Aspect of International Child Abduction, currently in effect between the United States and the 55 countries, facilitates the returns of an abducted to the child's habitual residence. Many countries, however, have not ratified by the Hague Convention on the Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction. The United States has not accepted all nations' accessions, and some countries to have ratified do not comply with the treaty obligation.